All right, we are back. Back at the back of the FeelFree 11.5. In the last video, we actually took a look at the Yak Gadget plate that, of course, has the power pole pattern and the actual stakeout pole. And I've got the Bixpy on here, and I did some tests initially, and I don't have really good footage with that, but basically my attempt with this was to have the Bixby unit stationary. There were two screws, one on either side of this mount here, that just kept this stationary. And then I was going to use the Smart Track rudder for the FeelFree and utilize that to turn. And the reason I was going to try and do that is because I have the overdrive on here, so I don't want to have to take the overdrive off, and I still want the hand steering. It's like, gosh, I need to figure out some type of way, to still have the overdrive with the Smart Track rudder, for using the overdrive, because that's what I'm going to use most of the time when I'm, fishing banks or moving maybe from one side of a cove to another, or maybe in the river. So I saw that Yak Gadget and Bixby kind of work together for this pole steering mount here, and of course you can see now that it's installed on the Bixby unit now, or on this adapter. And I'll go through how I set it up, the maneuverability of it, the ease of use, how easy it is to take something on and off of here. And of course, the only other thing that you're going to need for this is just an extendable pole, like a paint pole. And I actually already had one, so I didn't need to go out and buy it. Here's the entire setup here. You get this mount, and then this aluminum piece that's been, tapped for the pole. And yeah, we'll go ahead and get into it, and I'll show you all how I actually installed it and how well it works, at least right now. Not being in the water, but that'll be the next video to come of the how well it works in the water. Of course, we still need to do a speed test on this particular setup with the overdrive. This is a slightly different setup from previous setups that I've done. So stay tuned, and we'll get into the install. Alright, I just wanted to do a quick demonstration to show, of course I'll show the hand part up here where the seat is, but I'm just going to show how easy this is to actually use. Of course, I'm standing on the side of the kayak now, but you can see that gets, gosh, a complete 90-degree rotation right there, from straight all the way to the side. And of course, I don't have it locked in. Let me go ahead and lock it in there. Alright. And looking at it here, I tried to make it so that I would still be able to get the rudder up while that motor was there. So that's why that only goes to that portion. Even though I could probably make it go a little further if I have the rudder up, but I may actually keep the rudder down for traction purposes, or not traction, tracking. And I may do some tests down the road to see, figure out whether or not that's a good setup, a good practice. So, and then looking at it come all the way back this way, and then of course that's straight. And I'm actually using one of the Yak Attack rod holders up here, and I'll show you that in a little bit. Alright, I just wanted to show you really quick what I was talking about with this rod holder. It fits in there so that I don't have to worry about it, coming out. And then of course, if I really want to take it out, I can just lift that up, and if I'm standing up, I can definitely do that. or if I want to just hold it instead of keeping it in that rod holder. But that just fits in, locks in place, and I can keep it there if I'm not using it. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and start right here. And of course, I'm not going to go through the step of actually putting, you know, this particular piece on. It's fairly easy. On Bixpy's website, it says that of course it goes up to a pole. You know, the max is an inch is what they say. You might be able to put it on something slightly larger. You know, I don't know. I haven't tested it. You know, I'll try and get a pole that's slightly bigger than the one I have, or this particular one, and see if it's something that'll, you know, that'll work. Maybe a trolling motor or something like that. So we'll definitely have to try that out. But as you can see, I already, you know, tightened down one side. There's a lock nut on there, and I'm gonna go ahead and do that with this other side now. We're still going to have some play in it, so you can, you know, tighten it down as far as it'll go, and it'll, you know, it'll still move around. See, the thing that's going to lock it in place is this screw back here, so it'll allow you to adjust it, you know, however you need it. And then the next piece is actually this aluminum piece here. So I tried this two different ways. So of course, you know, you can put it this way, but, you know, once, let's say you're going down the lake or river or anything like that, and the unit pops up. Of course, you've got the pole up there with you. So if it pops up, everything is going to move this way. So you're only going to be able to go just a, you know, a little bit. So I wouldn't recommend, you know, putting it like that. I would put it on this side. So if it kicks up, you've got this full, you know, area right there that you're able to actually, and I want to say that's probably the correct way to do it, but I tried it both ways just to see, you know, how it would work, and, you know, if there were any benefits or anything like that. But the benefit is definitely this way, so that, you know, if the unit does kick up, here, I'll just show you. Alright, so let's say we're using it, the unit kicks up, and you see how you've got that full rotation there. Alright, so finish screwing that on, and of course that's how it's going to work. We haven't locked anything down yet, but I'm going to show you how I went ahead and, you know, figured out the best way to actually mount this. So, of course, everything is mounted the way it's supposed to, but let's say if you have it just straight on and it's locked down. So if you go back, you know, you've got full rotation that way, but then when you pull it forwards, you could probably only go about, you know, that much. So I would suggest, you know, playing with this however you all see fit, as far as the motor placement and the actual mount. So when I did it, I actually rotated my mount for the Bixpy as, you know, kind of the last place that I want it to go, or where I want it to be. And let's see if I can show you that really quick. Okay, so you can see that it's, you know, right up against or close to the rudder. The rudder can still come up, and the Bixpy unit, you know, is, you know, it's in a good spot there. So it still has room to kick up. It's out of the rudder's way. And we'll come back up here, lock that in, and then let's see, we'll figure out if that is where we want it or if we want it somewhere else. Let's see. And actually, I think I'm actually going to go right there with mine. So once you have it in the spot you like, I suggest holding everything down, the pole mount, or this particular unit that holds the Bixpy, and then of course holding this piece so that we can go ahead and tighten this tension screw right here. And I mean, you can tighten it down a fairly good amount. I mean, this pole is aluminum, so you know it's gonna scar it some, which is good because of course you know where you had it if you ever take it off, or you can mark it either way. I'll go ahead and demonstrate this one again. I'm back up here, and if I push that all the way, you can see that I still have room for the rudder to come up. So the rudder's up and came up without any issues. So then if I pull the pole back towards me, of course I've got, a good amount of rotation that way. So that's it for this install. I mean, between all of the we've got 3 Yak Gadget products here. So of course, like I said before, the plate, the power pole mount, and then the pole steering mount, and all of them work flawlessly. Between that and Bixpy, I mean, this is, in my opinion, the ultimate setup. You've got the overdrive from FeelFree. You've got the Lure 11.5, probably one of the most stable kayaks I've been in. And there's a lot of stable ones out there. I just love the features of this particular kayak. You've got the adjustable seat, everything that comes with it, the storage space. So, I would suggest if you all are in the market for a motor or even mounts, take a look at Bixpy. They have different mounts, of course, for Bixpy units, but Bixpy does sell this particular product now, and I want to say it's about $69 or so, and it's well worth it. I mean, it works perfectly. And if you all have any questions, need any help with anything, just let me know. Leave a comment, and I'll sure to get back to you. All right, thanks.